Today is this chapter 12.3. We're getting into some measures of central tendency. Dispersion is how it's spread out. Most of this stuff you probably already know, and if you don't know it, then it's really not that hard to get. I think that this is another one of those topics that's kind of like yesterday, where it's not that hard to get the answer, but it just takes a lot of work. So write this down for yourself real fast, so you have the notes on what everything is. Mean is where you add up all the numbers and divide by how many numbers you added up. It's what we usually call average. It's the official of what we usually call average. The median is the one where we put the numbers in order, which hopefully you got practice with that yesterday, although it does take practice. And then if there is more than one middle, then you just take the mean of those two values, but we'll talk about that. Mode, the way I remember that is because it starts with MO, and the word most starts with MO. I mean, there's really no other way to do it. I mean, there is other ways to do it, but I mean, once you get used to it, you'll be fine. But again, mode is the value that occurs the most. It is the only one where you can have more than one, but it must occur at least twice to be a mode. We'll talk about that if it comes up. And range is typically highest value minus your lowest value, or it is considering your highest and your lowest value. So anything like that is where it is. So pause the video and make sure you get enough time to write that down. But again, that is the majority of what you have to write. I think there's one more thing, but like I said, it's not really a major thing to do in terms of time. But like I said, make sure you get those things down, because that is really the overall point of this lesson. So looking at this, a lot of the problems in this are going to ask you for a lot of different things. So for example, it's going to ask for mean, median, and mode. Well, mean's not that bad, and in all honesty, if it's asking for all of them, I would just put them in order first. So we've got the lowest number of 104 three times, and then looks like 109. Then looks like 113, 117, 136, and 189. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, with people who were messing up yesterday, it's probably because you weren't checking to see how many values were actually there, and it might have cost you some time there. But other than that, like I said, it's still the same thing. 104, again, you add them all up for the mean, plus 104 plus 104 plus 109, 113, 117, 136, and 189 equals. So the mean is going to be whatever the sum of those is, which is 976 divided by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because remember that the mean is the sum, which is what the 976 is, divided by the number of values. So 976 divided by 8 gives us 122. Alright, the median, which we'll see more of, definitely more of starting tomorrow, is the middle value. So here's what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In order to find the median, what you want to do is kind of count edge to edge. So 104 matches up with 189. 104 matches up with 136. 104 matches up with 117. And notice that there is no true middle value. Whenever there is no true middle value, you've got to take the mean of these two numbers. So for the median, we have to do 109 plus 113 divided by 2. And that gives us 111. Alright. And then the mode is the one that occurs the most. Notice that 104 has 3 occurrences here. 109 is once. So pretty much your mode is what occurs the most. In that case, 104 is our mode. So again, for mean, add up all the numbers, which is 976 divided by 8. For median, you simply find the middle. If there is a middle, for example, if there are 7 numbers, you would match this one with this one, this one with this one, this one with this one. Notice that there is a middle value right there. That would be your median. But if there's two of them, that's when you add these two up. Pretty much you do the mean for these two numbers here by adding them up and then find out what the middle is. But that's how you do median if there's more than one, and then mode again is whatever occurs the most, and in this case it's 104. Now whenever they ask you which one best describes the scores, if you look at it, for example, mode doesn't really describe the scores because 104 is the mode, but notice that they have a 189 way up here and a 136 and a 117. So I wouldn't say that this person, if it was bowling scores for example, which it is, but I wouldn't say that 104 is the best way to describe what they would score on a regular basis because it's too low, not even close to the information. 122 would be somewhere around here, and yes, they do have a couple of high ones here, but I would say more than anything else the median seems to be put somewhere around in the middle of that value to where it is right there. And I mean, I'd say either the mean or the median would be a good description of the scores, but like I said, you're not going to see that question for the most part in your work, so don't worry about that. Do write this though in terms of average, because there's another kind of question that we have to do to understand what's going on. So again, write that average represents the value that could be shared evenly, and we're going to talk about this. You don't need to write anything after this part, but just kind of follow along with what I'm about to show you, as we're going to find the quote-unquote average of 3, 1, 8, and 4. What that means is we are going to do this using the same way we would as a kid. So imagine for average that you and 3 friends walk out of the house. You're about to go to a store. One of you has $3, one of you has $1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One of you has $8 and one of you has $4. Notice how each of these people has a different amount of money. But typically what kids like to do is they like to go into places and be fair. So what sometimes happens is the person with more money shares with the person that has less money. So looks like this person could use $2 more. So what they do is they take it off of this person's stack and put it here, take it off of this person's stack and put it here. This person still has more money than everybody else, so we're going to take what 1, 2, 3, 4, and they have 1, 2, 3. So take 1 off of here, put it there. Take 1 off of here and put it there. And notice you have 4 in this stack, 4 in this stack, 4 in this stack, and 4 in that stack. And so what this ends up meaning is that what average really is, whenever you say add them up and divide, notice 3 plus 1 plus 8 plus 4 equals, your sum is 16 divided by 4 values gives you 4. What the average really is if you had to assign a number for everything, then it would explain to you what they would do. So whenever they say a player averages 25 points a game, if they played 6 games and they average 25 points a game, then you could just kind of randomly assign 25 to every point, because we would expect for them to score 25 on every game. You see what I'm saying? So again, if your average is 25, this is pretty much what it is. Now what might happen is they might only score 20 in this game and 30 in that game, but notice that that just took 5 points away from here and added it to here, but you still average about 25 points a game. So it doesn't mean you have to score 25. It just means if you had to assign a value, the average would be what you would assign. So looking at what's going to happen and where you have to use that, it's on a question like this where they want to know how to meet an average. So it says your grades on 3 exams are 80, 93, and 91. What grade do you need on the next exam to have an average of 90 on 4 exams? And this is really what I want to see. I want an average of 90 on 4 exams. That means that if I had to assign a value to 4 exams, the number I would assign is 90, because they want my average to be 90. Well, the easiest way to do this is to add up 90 4 times to see how many points I should score, which is 360 total. And what's nice about doing it this way is that I know I need 360 total points. Right now I can take how many points I actually have, which is 80, 93, and 91, which is 264, and then all I have to do is take 360 minus 264 to find out what's missing. and I find out that I would need a 96. Alright, so again, the average of 90 means you want pretty much to average to, you could assign 90 to every one of the 4 exams. We know it's 4 exams because of that. So you do 90, 90, 90, 90, which means that we would have to score 360 altogether. We then take the scores that we had and find out how much we scored so far, and then we use that to find out what is missing from the 264 to get to 360 for the 4 scores. So again, it's something where you might have to ask me about, but trust me, if you just go ahead and try it that way, it's much less confusing than the way that a lot of other people have you do it. Problem number 3 says closing prices are shown below. What are the range and mean of each set of data? So what we're going to do is do 2 sets of things here. First off, range for A. Remember, it's highest minus lowest, so the highest number in A is 47. Lowest number in A is 25. And I believe that's 22. And then they want the mean also. So for the mean, first off, let's add up all the numbers from set A. So 25 plus 30 plus 30 plus 47 plus 28 equals. So the total was 160. And it's divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because there are 5 numbers, which is 32. Looking at set B, the range, highest number is 36, looks like. Lowest number is 28, which gives us a range of, I believe that's 8. And then again, if we were to find the mean, it means add all those up. 34 plus 28 plus 31 plus 36 plus 31, which is 160, divided by 5. Notice we have that up there, and you get the same mean. You can have 2 different sets of numbers with the same mean. That just means that they add up to the same thing. So if you were going to compare the data sets, you could say that both of them have the same mean. But when you look at what's going on, look at the ranges. This range is only 8, this range is 22, and what that means is that these numbers are a lot more compact. They're not spread out so far. So stock A is more widespread. So that would be your comparison if you were to have to do that. I don't think you'll have to do that a lot on things much either. But again, just kind of making sure you've seen everything that you need to be ready for. But like I said, it's pretty much both have the same mean, but stock A is just more widespread because its range is 22 instead of 8. So, and you notice that if you look at it, your lowest number is 25, your highest number is 47. Here your lowest number is 28, and you only go up to 36, so it's not really a big difference between those two. And sometimes you might want things that are more widespread in terms of numbers, but for the most part, a lot of people tend to want more consistency, so stock B was actually more consistent. Calculate the mean, median, and range of the data shown below. Well, here's the thing about this. This is just another way to show the information. The good news about this, which they do have one on the computer, but I didn't give you this one because it's just a lot of extra work really, is that you can actually, it's just a way to show you that if this is televisions per household, there are 2 people with 1, 2, 3, 4 people with 2. And the nice thing about it is that it actually allows you to do everything you need to do from the table. So I know I'm going to do 1 plus 1 plus 2, 1 plus 1 plus 2, 4, 2, so 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 threes, 1, 2, 3, 4 fours, and then 2 5s, not plus. And then when you add those up, your mean Remember, for mean, you want to add them up first. That's 54 divided by number of values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 54 divided by 18, I think is 3. Yep. So there's your 3, or your mean. Median shouldn't be that bad either. You can, if you're skilled enough, go ahead and match front to back, but here's what I would do if you really like to see the numbers. But again, this is already in order. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 4s, 2 5s. And once you want the median, again, you can just cross off front to back, 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1. Well, I mean, you already see it's 3 plus 3 makes 6, and 6 divided by 2 is 3, which means that your median is also 3. So again, remember, whenever there's more than one middle, you take and add those two and then divide that by 2. Again, please make sure you ask this stuff today. All you gotta do is just make sure you communicate with me, and that way when you leave, you have everything down. And the last thing is the range, which is going to be highest minus lowest. Well, the highest number in this data set is 5, minus the lowest set of this data set is 1. It means that your range is 4. So again, it's really not too much work. It's just a matter of making sure you understand what's going on, and that you're ready to put in some sort of work for it. You would notice on this question over here that I did not put my numbers in order to get the mean. Well, you don't really have to put them in order. The only time you really want to put the numbers in order is when you're looking for median or mode, because putting those things in order helps you to see what's going on. Remember, again, median, you have to put the values in order, but mode, if you want what occurs the most, it's easier to see if everything's in order there. So other than that, like I said, going over to Math Excel, log in to today's assignment, and again, make sure you put all your work on paper. I think you should be able to finish this one up. Yesterday was a little different, and I gave you 100% for just doing it and trying it and having it on paper, but you definitely want to finish this one up, because otherwise today I am putting your actual computer score in. So again, make sure you communicate with me, communicate with someone as you work your way through this stuff. Good luck.